Okay, I'm going to be working out problems that are very similar to what you have assigned from class. I honestly just took the problems and then changed them, like changed a couple of numbers, but for the most part they're pretty much the same problem. So hopefully this will be helpful for you. Okay, so step one is to get one of the variables by itself. This is problem number one or similar to it. And so you can see that x is already by itself. So step one is already done. Let's not make it any harder than it needs to be. So we have step one, x equals negative 4y minus 5. Step two is to substitute that into the other equation. We've just used this equation, so now I'm going to switch over and use this one up here. So when you do these problems, I want you to write it like this. Okay, I replaced x with parentheses. The reason I replaced x with parentheses is that that's what was solved for here. So that's what we're going to replace. So I'm going to take this whole thing right here and I'm going to stick it right there. So it's negative 4y minus 5. Okay? So the next step now is just to solve for y. You see that all of these variables, the only thing in here is y, and that's what you want. If you don't have that, then you're doing it wrong. So I'm going to distribute first. So we have negative 8y minus 10. I'm going to carry down this negative 6y and then carry down the equal and the negative 32. Okay, now we're just solving like a normal equation. We have negative 6y and negative 8y, so that's a total of negative 14y. Carry down the negative 10 and the negative 32. I'm going to add 10 to both sides. And then my last step is to divide by negative 14. Okay. Now, pretty much in all of your problems and all of my problems, we're going to get some messy numbers. You see that 22 divided by 14 is not going to be a nice number. Usually, I prefer for you guys to leave things as fractions. In this case, I'm going to have you guys, you can use decimals if you want to. If you prefer fractions, then do that. But I know that you guys struggle with fractions, and I don't want to overcomplicate it, so I'm just going to use fractions for you. Okay, so 22 divided by 14 is 1.57, and since it's negative divided by negative, it's going to end up positive. So that's one of your answers. That was all step 2. Step 3 is to substitute that back into the first equation. So we started with this one, we went to this one, now we're going back to this one right here. Okay, so I'm going to write x equals negative 4. I'm replacing the y with what we solved, which is 1.57, and then minus 5. So 4 times 1.57 is going to be 6.28, and since there's a negative there, it means it's negative. Okay, and then when we subtract 5, we're going to get negative 11.28. So that would be our other answer. You can write your answer like that, just x equals and y equals, or you can write it as a point. It's good to be familiar with both ways. Okay, and that was step 3 that we just did. You can see step 3 is pretty short. Alright, let's try the next one. Or actually, I'm going to stop the video and then go to the next one.